Are you bored of MOBAs and other multi-stream games, AAA garbage games that cost leg and a half, and you want to play great games and cheap games like I do? Far better games than all of those hyped, call them however you like, they're not games anymore, they're more like propaganda these days. But they are still good games, and indie industry is producing great games. So let's do the second part of this video and offer above 50-60 games again. The game that you're seeing here, the first one, ASTLIBRA Revision, is the game I'm currently playing. I detest JRPGs. I really dislike playing them. It's like they came out from another planet. But for some reason, I love this game. What is it? It's not a classic JRPG, okay? It's hard as hell. It offers 5-6 difficulties. It offers boss fights. It offers tons of enemies to fight. It offers story. A lot of tricks, a lot of upgrades. And when I say a lot of upgrades, I mean it. This game is absolutely insane, in my opinion, and I'm around 10 hours so far. This is easily top 5 games in 2022. What's even funnier, only one guy made this game, and he was making it for 14 years. 14 years in development. ASTLIBRA Revision. Give it a shot, you won't be disappointed. You need to give it time also, because the game rolls on after 3 hours or so. And make sure to play demo before starting the main campaign so you can learn all the tricks. Now the next game I want to recommend is MOONSCARS, Metroidvania, dark Metroidvania. I love dark games, and this one has a really amazing art style. It's very short though, so if you wanna play it, try to grab it on sale, because I don't believe it's worth the full price because how short it is. It's interesting game, okay, I had fun, but again, be careful when you're buying it. I recommend the game though, I really do, it's fun. The next game I want to recommend is Fountains. It has a free demo available, it should be out soon. What is Fountains? It's a Souls-like from isometric perspective, pixel art, isometric Souls-like. It could be very good. From what I tested and from what I played in those 2 hours, 3 hours of demo, this game might be worth it. So keep an eye on it and play the demo, so you can consider whether you're gonna buy it or not. Once it's out, it should be out very soon. Now we're gonna speak about NOITA. And I don't know how to describe this game. You need to play and test. It's innovative, it's very weird. It's a combat, pixel art, side-scroller survival with no freaking end, okay? You literally play until you're dead, you dig underground, and you can go I don't know how far. I played it a bit. I liked it, okay? I really liked it. If you're into new stuff, to test out something new, then go ahead and grab NOITA. The next game is the Tarnishing of JUXTIA. JUXTIA, call it however you like. What is it? Pixel art, 2D, Metroidvania in descriptions when you wanna buy. But basically this is 2D, pixel art, Souls-like side-scroller. A very short one. I would recommend this one on sale. It's a new release basically, and it's good for one Sunday afternoon, okay? That's how long it takes to beat the game. 6-8 hours tops. The next game is called Butcher. So what is Butcher? Butcher is a 2D side-scrolling action shooter, or better to say, this is what happens when you play, for example, if Doom, old school Doom from 90s, was transferred into 2D side-scroller. That's what Butcher is. Hard game, a really hard game, addictive, cheap. I highly recommend it. The next game would be Fury Unleashed, a 2D side-scroller roguelike that's best played in co-op. Okay, if you got someone to play in co-op, then this is a brilliant game. It's also worth it in single player, of course. I spent a lot of time playing it, I had my fun. And I guess you will also have fun, especially if you have someone to play with. Like this game, it's like Metal Slug roguelike bullet hell. Now we got Sin Slayers. What can I say about this game, man? The isometric turn-based, I can call it RPG, okay? It's an innovative indie game, I guess. If you are into turn-based combat, if you are into testing something new, you see, like, when you look at it like this, it looks like Heroes of Might and Magic a bit, okay? But you traverse the map differently. So if you are into testing a mix of genres, let's say, and you enjoy turn-based combat, then you're gonna go for Sin Slayers. Okay, so the next game we got here is called Book of Demons. For those that have a bit more experience and that have Diablo 1 as their favorite game from 90s, they gonna realize immediately that this is a parody on Diablo 1. Does it mean that it's a silly game? No, it's not. Okay, it's a great isometric roguelike. You can also call it card-based roguelike, but basically it's not. There's also a lot of gameplay included where you do different stuff, not only throwing cards. I would highly recommend the game, okay? Especially for those that play roguelikes only. They're gonna enjoy this. The next game in line would be Death's Gambit. Death's Gambit is a classic Souls-like 2D Metroidvania. Extremely dark Metroidvania. Now it's also received its enhanced edition. It's very cheap, okay? It's completely worth playing. I had a lot of fun with vanilla version, and now this game is like at least twice better than it used to be. Yeah, go ahead, go for it, you won't be disappointed. The next one in line is GetsuFumaDen. Classic roguelike, very similar to other 2D side-scrolling roguelikes like Dead Cells and so on, like Summum Aeterna. If you can find it for like less than $5, go ahead and give it a shot. I played it for like 15 hours or so, it was nice. Now speaking about roguelikes and best indie roguelike, at least for now, is for sure Dead Cells. If you don't know about Dead Cells, you've been living under a rock, I guess, but it doesn't hurt to mention that the game exists. Probably the best roguelike so far, as far as 2D side-scrolling roguelikes are considered. This one is top tier. Speaking about roguelike, we got Slay the Spire. What I said for Dead Cells as the best roguelike 2D side-scroller, this one, Slay the Spire, is probably the best card-based roguelike. It's also a very hard game, completely worth playing. I got, I don't know how many hours, 50, 70, 100, it doesn't even matter. For the game like this, that's a lot. It's a good game. The next game would be Grim Dawn. Everyone, we go to the action RPGs a bit. Everyone is talking only about Diablo, Diablo 3, Diablo 2, Diablo 1, about Path of Exile these days, of course, because it is the best action RPG on the market, Path of Exile. But no one is giving credit to Grim Dawn. Grim Dawn is absolutely astounding, okay? This is a brilliant action RPG. This is an action RPG that's free of microtransactions, of pay to win, of whatever you wanna name in it, okay? You buy the game and that's it. Everything that's available is in the game. Classic, old school, similar to Titan Quest, okay? If you haven't played Grim Dawn, play it. If you don't like action RPGs and you never played action RPGs, maybe you should even start with Grim Dawn because it's fun. Speaking about action RPGs, we also got WOLCEN. It was I can't call it a disaster, it was above mediocre action RPG in its vanilla state when it was out. Now, after a lot of patching, it's actually a solid action RPG, like 7, 8 out of 10 action RPG with solid main campaign, a lot of combat animations, okay, and good graphics. They say how the end game is better, so you might want to play and check it out. I had fun with WOLCEN, but it didn't have endgame when I played it. Now it should be different, so give it a shot. It's another underrated action RPG. Vampyr. Vampyr. Vampire. Call it however you like. That's the name of the game. Innovative game. It has Souls-like combat mechanics, but basically what you do when you play as a vampire, you are in search for blood. And there's a lot of story in this game too. Immersive game, extremely underrated I might say, and long forgotten. Give it a shot if you never played it and play something new. This one offers innovation. The next one in line is Hand of Fate 2. Card game, action game, role-playing game, gambling game, all in one. Innovative game, extremely innovative game, good game, if not even great. If you skipped Hand of Fate 2, you wanna get familiar with Hand of Fate, play Hand of Fate 1 and then play Hand of Fate 2, you won't be disappointed. This is really something else, something new. It's innovative and it's cheap, right? It's cheap. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, the most expensive indie game ever created. Even today it's above 40 bucks. If you can find it under 10 bucks, it's worth it. It's really worth it because it's a very fun game. What is Shovel Knight? Shovel Knight is directly responsible for Hollow Knight. They copied everything there is from Shovel Knight and created Hollow Knight. But Shovel Knight is the game that came out first. If you haven't played it, go ahead, play it immediately. Just be careful about the price. It's mega expensive. It's unreal. It's freaking brain dead. How can an old game such as this be like 40, 44 bucks? Absolute insanity. And after Shovel Knight, we got Hollow Knight. You can even spot the similarities between two, okay? A lot of people will say how this is the best Metroidvania ever created. And I agree. For me, though, Aeterna Noctis is the best Metroidvania ever created. And then it's Hollow Knight. But for majority, it's Hollow Knight. What is there to say about Hollow Knight? If you skipped Hollow Knight, you missed a freaking planet. It's better than, easily better than 99.99% of AAA titles. It's simple as that. It's better. THYMESIA. I don't even know how to pronounce this game. It's gonna be in description. Another Souls-like, extremely short Souls-like, but extremely fast-paced also. It's more similar to Bloodborne, to be honest, than to other Dark Souls games. Now, the main question is it worth it? I had fun, but go with this one once it's on huge sale. The next game we got on the line is another Metroidvania. This is Metroidvania from this year, 2022. Soldiers. Okay, to be more precise. What is there to say? Huge Metroidvania. A very long Metroidvania. Can be very hard on the hardest difficulty also. It provides challenge. I don't see way much innovation in it while I was playing it, but still it was fun. I recommend the game on sale. Now we got LOOPMANCER, another roguelike, 2D side-scrolling roguelike. What is the difference between LOOPMANCER and other roguelikes? This one looks amazing and it's extremely system demanding. It also has ray tracing in it. Beautiful graphics, okay, that's it. As far as gameplay goes, it's above mediocre, okay, but it's a feast for the eyes if you are into this type of graphics, of course. Now we got Alaloth, beautiful indie game. It looks freaking amazing. And a lot of people were complaining about Alaloth's difficulty, while I will say how it's a great game to relax. So my opinion is quite the opposite of most of the reviews on this game, because a lot of people considering very hard. I considered it very easy. How does it play? It plays exactly the same as all other Souls-likes, but this is isometric one, alright? A bit weird game. They tried a lot of new things. Innovation is there, okay? But at the end of the day, after like 10 or so hours, I just skipped, and I kinda wanna wait for patches for them to balance the game out and probably get more maps, more enemies, more bosses, because the game was lacking in that department, alright? I believe now it should be good, because I've seen a lot of patches happen, but I haven't played it since then. Okay, I played on day one. If you are into those type of games, you can check it out. It works extremely good on a gamepad. That's all I can say about Alaloth. Now, speaking about isometric roguelikes, this one is great, completely underrated, went under the radar for like 99% of the world. It's called Loot River. It's just a great game. What I also noticed, it's extremely hard game too, okay? But again, I can't believe it how it freaking went under the radar, because it's good. It's really good. It is. The next one we have in line is Salt and Sanctuary, probably the best 2D Souls-like on the market even today, after so many years. If you like Dark Souls, you're gonna love Salt and Sanctuary. Simple as that. It's a lighter version, okay, easier than Souls for sure, but still, even today, a very, very good game. Alright, after Salt and Sanctuary, now we got Salt and Sacrifice from this year, 2022. Instead of creating another Salt and Sanctuary, the developers decided to create a mini roguelike out of Salt instead of progressive campaign. I believe that Salt and Sanctuary is way much better than Salt and Sacrifice that you're looking at. Does it mean that Salt and Sacrifice sucks? No, it's a solid Souls-like roguelike. Okay. When it's worth it, only on a huge sale. Only when you got nothing else left to play. What we got now is PRONTY, Metroidvania underwater. You're non-stop underwater, playing as a fish. It's a relaxing game, innovative game, fun Metroidvania. I would highly recommend this one to those that want to get to know the genre, or to your sister, your mother, your wife, or your daughter. Okay, it's a bit girly game, to be honest. For me, it was one afternoon to finish this one. As I said, a lay down and relax experience, okay? Give it a shot if you are into those type of games. Time wasters. It ain't bad. They're just zero challenge. Now we got Inscription. I don't know what words to use for Inscription. If there is innovation, this is it. The game should be called Innovation, not Inscription. Absolutely crazy game. A lot of people will say how it's a card game. Yeah, to some degree, but there are no words to explain what is this game, okay? You need to play and experience it on your own, and you need to finish it. And you will probably once you start it, because it's absolutely crazy. Crazy, there are no other words. Like a freaking genius made this game, not a regular dev. This one is a freaking genius. Greak, Memories of Azur. Same what I said about PRONTY, I can say exactly the same thing about Greak. Relaxing, short, Metroidvania. Worth playing and buying only once it's on huge sale. One afternoon game, that's what it is. The next in line would be Death's Door. Oof, if you like isometric action mini RPGs, this is the one for you. If you are into something easy and relaxing, again, Death's Door is for you. If you are into silly games, then Death's Door is for you. It's a very short game. There was a huge hype around it at one moment, and it didn't turn out that well. But still, it's worth playing, I guess, on a huge sale. Eldest Souls. If you like to rage and fight bosses only, with no enemies at all, then Eldest Souls is for you. Prepare to rage a lot. Prepare to die a lot. That's all I can say about it. Like, this game is for the specific tastes. Okay. Have in mind, once you're buying it, worth it on sale, worth playing. I liked it. The Ascent. Top-down isometric shooter. Basically, it's Diablo-like Diablo game, only with guns in a cyberpunk environment. If you are into this type of games, it's worth it. The game looks good. It really looks good. My recommendation, go with it, only on sale. Death Trash is this one. Yo, how to describe this one, man? Pixel art, isometric. I can't even call it Souls-like. It's similar to Bastion, I guess. Classic RPG with a huge world map. You pick where you wanna go. In those terms, it's like Fallout 1 and 2. Okay, with world traversing. And in terms of combat, it's like Hades, like Children of Morta, like Morbid, that type of game. Hades, the best isometric roguelike in the world. What is there to say about it? Just extremely fast-paced, addictive, smooth, optimized, perfect game for a gamepad also. A lot of replay value. Hades is just brilliant, okay? A brilliant game. Speaking about brilliant games, we got Blasphemous. Spanish Metroidvania. Extremely good Metroidvania. Top 5 of all time. That's for sure. For someone it's number 1, for someone number 2, number 3, but we can all agree it's top 5 of all time. Blasphemous is just amazing. Worth playing, worth buying, no matter the price. Now we got Red Solstice 2. Survivors. This might look to you like a strategy, but it's not. It's a top-down shooter. But it's not a classic top-down shooter like other top-down shooters. If you remember StarCraft 1 and StarCraft Brood War, when you got that mission without building, okay, when you get Rainer and so on and you're on a mission, okay, from point A to point B, that's what Red Solstice is. A real-time strategy without building stuff. You build stuff, like in XCOM, once you're out of the mission. But during the mission, it's a completely different story. Also, this game was made for 4 players to play at the same time. It's probably extremely good to play in company. The next one in line is Enter the Gungeon. Bullet Hell. Classic Bullet Hell. A very good one also. If you are into this type of games, there are rarely better games than this one. This one is probably the best, to be honest. I would recommend going for Enter the Gungeon once it's on some huge sale. And it's often on a huge sale. Peaky Blinders. Mastermind. If you like the TV show Peaky Blinders, you'll probably love the game. What is the game though? It's an adventure. Okay. Adventure. Puzzle adventure. With Peaky Blinders. I liked it because I like the TV show. It's only for the fans, this game. Now how about some old school beat 'em up? 9 Monkeys of Shaolin. That's the name of the game. Classic beat 'em up, right? Fun game. Hard game. If you are into old school games from 90s, beat 'em ups, this is the one to go for now. Oh man, here we go. Another Souls-like. Mortal Shell. The shortest Souls-like ever. You need like... If you are experienced into Dark Souls, into Souls-like games, you'll need 5 hours to finish this game. If you are new to the genre, you're gonna need around 10-15 hours to finish. For me, this was extremely fast, okay? And also disappointing at the time, but The game received a DLC now, it's a bit longer than it used to be, it received a lot of patches, so I guess now it's worth it on some huge sale. It looks good, I give them that, and combat is fun. Classic Souls-like, only for fans of the genre. The next one we got is West of Death, an isometric, roguelike, western, horror western style. Okay, weird game, but if you are into roguelikes and if you can grab it for cheap, it's worth playing. Very good shooting mechanics, duck and cover shooting mechanics in a roguelike, also with a lot of different weapons and so on. What is there to say about Commandos 2 HD remastered now? This is the game from my childhood. Now it's a remastered version. If you never played Commandos, you don't know what you missed. This is the beginning of tactical stealth real-time strategy genre. Commandos 1. This is Commandos 2 though, the HD remaster. They're exactly the same games, to be honest, with only different missions. Do I recommend this? Yes, I highly recommend. All Commandos-like games, especially the original one. Now for those that love real-time strategies, or better to say build for 30 minutes and then wait for the zombie attack with 1 million zombies on your city, then They Are Billions is the game for you. It's basically a real-time strategy and tower defense at the same time. Sundered Eldritch Edition. I love this game, every minute of it. Amazing roguelike. The main focus of this roguelike is fast-paced combat. Okay, the game starts mega slow, and if you are patient enough in the first 2 or 3 hours, it's gonna open up like a book. Okay, and it's gonna be more and more fun. This is a game with a very slow progress, and the further you are, the more fun you'll get, especially at the end. Sundered is an extremely good, underrated action roguelike. Now, as far as turn-based roguelikes go, there is no better than Darkest Dungeon 1. If you can call it a roguelike, it's Darkest Dungeon genre, man. But for real, Darkest Dungeon 2 is coming up very soon. Full game. Go ahead and play Darkest Dungeon 1 before you play Darkest Dungeon 2. It's a brilliant game. One of a kind. Happens once in a lifetime. That's how great it is. Live Lock is the name of this game now. If you are into a top-down isometric shooters, zero brain, 100% action, then go ahead and give it a shot. Again, the name of the game is Live Lock. Here we go with a Commandos like War Mongrels, a new game. It was a bit of a mess in its vanilla state, and now it received a huge patch, and the game is better than ever. If you are into Commandos likes, Commandos 1, 2, 3, Desperados, Wanted Dead or Alive, Desperados 3, Robin Hood and the Legend of Sherwood, War Mongrels is exactly the same game in the same genre. The next game would be F.I.S.T, Metroidvania, where you play as a rabbit. Do I recommend it? Only on a huge sale. Now what I said for F.I.S.T, same I can say for Weird West. There is no genre that defines Weird West, it's only worth on sale, buying on sale, huge sale. And this is a mix of like 3 or 4 genres in one. Extremely confusing game with very stupid AI, but also fun to play. So it has its downsides, but if you can find it under $5-10, then it's worth it. The next game would be Demon Pit. So what happens when you put Doom-like in the arena? This game happens, okay? Non-stop wave of enemies, chasing high scores, that's about it. Fun game to play. The next in line, extremely silly and addictive game, two games, better to say, because they're exactly the same. One finger Death Punch 1 and one finger Death Punch 2. It doesn't matter which one you want to play, you'll have equal fun. It's one of those games that you just can't stop playing. Extremely cheap game, mega fun. And now we got Black Gaze here. A CRPG, most similar to old school Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale and so on. It's not as good as those. The game is still receiving its patches. If I can recommend this game, I would say wait for at least 6 more months, if not even more, and then try to find this game on sale and give it a shot. Right now, it's still receiving a lot of patches.